Hello there, everybody. This is Alex from Hardcorian, guys, bringing you my Wario World no damage run. Oops, I might have slipped up there. So yeah, today we're doing the Thrillsville main boss, Red Brief J's Showdown, or just Red Brief J in general. So he's actually a surprisingly easy world boss of all things, because his attack patterns are relatively simple enough to avoid and figure out. So whenever he's when you see him like charging up like those red sparks, that's when he's gonna do the dash. And just stay in the middle, or just if you're anywhere on the field, just walk in front of him or behind him, and just essentially, or walk toward the background or the foreground and just avoid it outright. So when he goes for that jumping thing, that's when you must stay in the middle so you don't get hit by the lava, and he'll bounce back. And usually you don't take damage from that. You also do take damage from the steps, by the way. And I actually ended up taking a hit and had to restart this. So this was my second attempt, and it was pretty good, because, again, Red Brief J is actually pretty easy. I mean, Dynamite is, I would say, probably even harder than him, which is odd, because you wouldn't think that's how it works, but it kind of does. Also, the lava itself, when he bounces back, does not do damage to him, unfortunately, so... Also with that attack, of course, as with most bosses, eventually his stuff will just get faster over time. But for the most part, it's still pretty easy enough to avoid, just a little quicker. And if you get too scared, you can always just dash, which you'll see eventually I pretty much just have to do, because it's going to be incredibly difficult to get away from some of his crap. The fire shots just simply move around the arena, not that bad. And again, with this... If it gets too tight, just, wait for it to be on its last second and then just dash. Because usually they can't, like, home in on you specifically. They just, him and most bosses just usually go for the attack and they just, do it. And then there you go. That's the end of it. So, at least he telegraphs most of his attacks, which is nice. So this is a new attack that he starts getting, and I start panicking because, I'm not used to this, and you can't really turn the camera because this game doesn't really have a camera, so you're kind of just screwed with that. So yeah, and then of course finish him off with a nice little butt slam thing, and that is it for this entire world. That's World 3. So yeah, now we have, oh boy, we have World 4 to go through, and then we have all three of those. And surprisingly, they weren't really that bad. Mirror World actually being relatively simple enough. And Pecan, I actually routed pretty well, and I'm pretty impressed with that one. So you guys will get to see that one. It did take me a while to beat, but it wasn't nearly as bad as like Beanstalk Way or even Horror Manor was, because oh my lord, it wasn't bad. Anyway, so that's it for next time, and I'll see you guys in World 4. So take care, everybody.